Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is an hour past when we normally start. And thank you to all of you who have been patiently waiting. I see everybody in the chat. You guys are just as awesome as ever. Speaking of the chat, hey, guys, yesterday, my mods told me that for the second time, I missed a super chat, and now I'm second guessing the name of the person who gave me a super chat, which is so incredibly generous, and I completely missed it. Where was it? Give me a second. This is important. I wanna get the right name here. Aida Shah, Jade. Yeah. So I am so sorry that I missed your super chat. And apparently that is 2 times in a row. I'm very sorry about that. With the new system, I will do my best to keep a better eye on things. Speaking of keeping an eye on things, guys, check this out. Man, that is growth, right? We are at 96,843 members of our little community here on YouTube. Thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed, and actually to all of you who support me in a lot of different ways. Thank you. And I mean that sincerely and deeply. Hey, tonight we are, though late, we're still on the Madeline Soto case because more stuff has come in. I am just getting through organizing the documents. I mean, I think I've gotten about halfway through it, and there are some things in here that we have not seen before, at least to my memory. And one of those things that we're going to take a look at today is a warrant from the Kissimmee Police Department asking a judge for access to an Apple account. So let's go ahead before we really dive into this. Let's see what we got here. Just Christy the Clone says, Gavin, we all want that pen. That's right. You got it. She's talking about this pen. Let me get it in here. The 100K pen. There are 50 of them. They're numbered. This one is an imposter. It has no number. It will be crushed. It'll be destroyed because we can't have 51 of them out there. But if you are over on the fish tank over on Facebook, you guys have seen the fish tank, right? Let's go over there real quick. Fish tank right here. Jamie and Autumn are playing a fun game to help me get to 100,000 subscribers. And you could be the proud owner of this amazing 100,000K pin. 100,000K. What did I say that? 100K pin. So yeah, Chrissy, you want it. Yeah. Carol says, congratulations on your growing community. You deserve it. Well, thank you. I'm really, really glad that that it is growing. Veronica, hola from La Argentina. Good to see you. And then MM Clark, good to see you too. I'm so glad for this new system that Gazella pointed me on, where I can see your the emojis and all that stuff. So pretty happy to be here with you guys. True Crime Addict is like, when I started watching you, it was 89,000. So yeah, we're moving. We're moving up. All right. That is enough self-congratulation. I need to stop patting myself on the back. I'm really patting you guys on the back, but yes. Oh, I might get that play button. I might. You're right. Okay. Let's hop in here. We're talking about Maddie. You guys know the drill. Unless you're new here, if you want to get my attention in the chat, just put GF, and that will help me to see your chat. For example, Carol Johnson. Holy cow, Carol! Thank you so much. Congrats, you'll be at 100,000 ASAP. I appreciate that so much, Carol Johnson. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Okay, let's head on over here to Acrobat. Now, we will talk a lot about your comments here in just a bit, but first, let's dive into this document. We've had so many recordings lately that I've gotten a little lazy. I like documents. I like to read documents. This was filed on April 17th. Oh, hold on. Before we really dive into this, let's just bring everybody up to speed. Madeline Soto, 13-year-old little girl, little junior high aged girl in Kissimmee, Florida, goes supposedly missing on February 26th of 2024. I think the last time she was really seen was February 25th. The story is that her mom's on-again, off-again boyfriend, a man named Stephen Stearns, took her to school in the morning, and then her mom, Jenn Soto, went to pick her up in the evening or the afternoon, and she was not there. It turns out she never went to school, and within a few days, Mr. Stearns actually was arrested, not charged with her murder in the beginning, but charged with 60 counts of SA against Madeline. Apparently, he was not all that smart and kept photographic evidence, even though he tried to erase it from his phone. It was on his Google Drive. Police found it 1,700 photos of him abusing little Maddie. Let's get his mug off of here. We'll look at Maddie. Later, after a couple of days, he was charged with her murder. Her body was found on March 1st, 2024, just dumped in a field kind of across a barbed wire fence, in with some like little bamboo trees. It was like a bamboo hedge. So that's what we're talking about here in this case, if you needed to catch up. And you can go to my website and see practically everything in the case. There's just so much here, including all of the videos that I've done, some audio recordings, some case files, some crime scene photos, you name it, it's all there. Just go to gavinfish.com, click on cases, then click on Maddie, or you can just click on the description below. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. All right, let me bring up my right thing here. All right. I need 3 monitors, guys. Right now I have 2. I need 3, I think. Okay. I'm just going to do a little bit of yada yada here because we don't really need to get into, but it's Detective Mark Morris. He is found throughout all these documents, and he is seeking permission from a judge in this affidavit. He's writing an application for a search warrant. For the following things. He says the following records under the control of Apple Inc. found to be associated with the Apple accounts associated with blank and blank. I should say redacted and redacted, right? Now we know that Mr. Stearns had an Android phone. So I don't believe this is Mr. Stearns' phone. I believe these phones are the phones of Jennifer and Madeline. Okay. That's what I think we're looking at here. Okay. And or associated to emails, and then the email addresses are redacted. Okay. All records or other information regarding the devices associated with or used in connection with the account, including all current and past trusted or authorized iOS devices and computers, and any devices used to access Apple services. So if there is an iPad, if there is a MacBook, if there is a Mac Mini, whatever, they want all of the devices connected to those 2 accounts, including serial numbers, unique identifiers, advertising, blah, 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 blah. So they want all that. B, the contents of all files and other records stored on iCloud, including all iOS device backups, all Apple and third-party app data, all files and other records related to iCloud Mail, iCloud Photo Sharing, My Photo Stream, iCloud Photo Library, iCloud Drive, iWorks, which includes Pages, Numbers, Keynote, iCloud Tabs, iCloud Keychain, and all address books, contact and buddy lists, notes, reminders, calendar entries, images, videos, voicemails, device settings, and bookmarks. Now, we're going to get into this affidavit a little bit, but what do you guys think? Why do you think that they want access to Jenn's things? Her Apple account. Why could that possibly be? right? What is it? What would it be in Jenn's account that they would like to take a look at? All of her devices, all of her iCloud account. What could it possibly be? All right, well, we're going to find out. So that is believed to be evidence of a felony criminal violation of the laws of the state of Florida, including murder, SB, and possession of material depicting CSAM, right? Is currently being kept in or on certain property, which is accessible in Osceola County, Florida, which property is presently believed to be under the control of Apple Inc., attention, privacy, and law enforcement compliance, blah, blah, blah. Which property is more specifically described as follows. Apple accounts associated with, I think this says Jennifer Soto and Madeline Soto, and or associated to these emails. I would imagine they are Jennifer's emails and Madeline's emails. Your affiant seeks to seize the above described evidence pursuant to these statutes and compel a blah, 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 blah. Okay? Your affiant further requests an order that Apple Inc. will deliver these records in an electronic format by electronic mail to Detective Mark Morris at, and then his email address. I have to say, this is one that I redacted. Okay? If I just didn't think it was necessary to put his email address out there. If sending the records by email is not possible, then give us spinny disks. All right. And then the next two paragraphs are the bona fides of Detective Morris. These are typical in an affidavit of probable cause. And then, so we're going to skip over it. We just all agree that he is a detective. Okay. Apple provides a variety of services that can be accessed from Apple devices or in some cases other devices via web browsers or mobile and desktop applications, also known as apps. As described in further detail below, the services include email, IM, and file storage. Apple provides email service. We all understand this, right? And then he goes on to describe what iCloud connected services are. And basically, hey guys, you know that there's no such thing as the cloud, right? There are just other people's computers. And that's what iCloud is. So when you're storing something in the cloud, where you're storing it is on a server. It's really on a cluster of servers somewhere in the world. And Apple has data centers all over the world, typically just from my systems engineering and network engineering background, typically they would be in a cluster altogether, but the distributed nature of the internet these days, that data may be distributed in many different data centers. Okay. So they're just saying, hey, anybody who had access or connection to this iCloud account, we want those files, and Apple has them. All right. And then it goes on to describe how Apple services access the files using the Apple ID, and so forth. And then we're going to go ahead and skip down here. Down to here. Apple also maintains information about the devices associated with an Apple ID. When a user activates or upgrades an iOS device, Apple captures and retains the user's IP address and identifiers, such as the integrated circuit card ID number, also known as the ICC ID, which is the serial number of the device's SIM card, or eSIM if you don't have a SIM card. Similarly, the telephone number of a user's iPhone is linked to an Apple ID when the user signs into FaceTime or iMessage. Apple also may maintain records of other device identifiers, including MAC addresses, UDIDs, serial numbers. In addition, information about a user's computer is captured when iTunes is used on that computer to play content associated with an Apple ID, and information about a user's web browser may be captured when used to access services through iCloud and so forth. Okay, so they're going, and they go on to tell the judge, Apple provides each user 5 gigabytes of free electronic space, which I'm telling you is not free electronic space. It is free physical space in a data center somewhere. Okay. And they're going to go through that. All right. Let's see. I think that we can just kind of skip through about all this stuff we all understand. Okay. On February 27th, 2024, the Kissimmee Police Department was asked to assist the Orange County Sheriff's Office with executing a search warrant at, and this was the apartment that the townhome that they lived in Kissimmee, in reference to a missing persons case they were actively working. The missing person is Madeline Soto. The address is where Madeline, her mother Jennifer Soto, and person of interest in victim's disappearance, Stephen Stearns, live. Again, this was written on April 17th. Okay, so it is a month and a half, almost 2 months after Madeline went missing. It's a month and a half after her body was found. Stephen is already arrested at this point. He is charged at this point. I think, actually, I'll have to check the timeline. Maybe he hasn't been charged with murder yet at this point. Somebody correct me in the comments, okay? Okay, Orange County detectives stated Stephen provided them with his cell phone and authorized them to download the contents. When Orange County detectives downloaded the contents, they saw that Stephen performed a factory reset of his device. However, his Google Drive resynced with his phone, and detectives discovered several hundreds of images and videos, which depicted Stephen Stearns conducting unlawful, we're just going to call it SA, with Madeline. At that point, detectives obtained a search warrant for Stephen's Google account and were able to obtain even more images and photos of said unlawful sexual activity. An arrest warrant was later obtained by the Kissimmee Police Department for Stephen Stearns, charging him with SB, capital SB, and possession of CP. Okay? Madeline, Jennifer, and Stephen all lived at the townhome during the time that the above-mentioned offenses occurred. A search of Stephen Stearns' phone also disclosed communications between Stephen and Madeline. The communications between Madeline and Stephen Stearns shows routine communication by cellular phone device, even when they were both inside the apartment. I think that is Madeline. I mean, it's redacted, but I think that does say Madeline Soto. I think that's what they're talking about, okay? There's also a likelihood that there is communication between, and I think this says Madeline and Jennifer, regarding the relationship between Madeline and Stephen. Stephen was determined to be the last person in contact with Madeline and is considered a suspect in her disappearance. However, during the investigation, it was determined that Jennifer Soto's vehicle, a 2022 Nissan sedan, had been used after Madeline's disappearance, and the Nissan drove the exact same path of travel that Stephen had driven in his vehicle, the Lincoln MKZ, immediately after Madeline's disappearance. This is known through red light cameras, license plate readers, and surveillance videos. Now, we learned later, guys, that I wondered if it was Jennifer driving that same path that Stephen took, but I believe that this was actually Stephen driving Jennifer's car after they had checked into the hotel because their home was a crime scene. They couldn't go into it. They checked into a hotel, and Stephen just went driving in the night after Jennifer, for reasons that are not understood by me or anyone with any kind of logic or ability to reason in their mind, took her medication, which causes her to sleep and go to sleep, I guess. I hope I said that okay. Man, my voice. I've been for my day job, I've been at a political event. It was loud, everything. I was yelling, I'm sorry about my voice, I guess is what I'm saying. So I believe that when they're talking about this Nissan that drove the same path of travel, that was Stephen that did it. This is known, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Madeline's and Stephen's phones were left behind at their apartment. We cannot prove who was driving Jennifer Soto's vehicle during this time. Oh, okay. So Jennifer's and Stephen's phones were left behind at their apartment. We cannot prove who was driving Jennifer Soto's vehicle during this time frame prior to Stephen's arrest. Still images recovered from the license plate readers, traffic cameras, and or surveillance cameras showed Madeline in an unnatural position, slumped over the center console of the Lincoln MKZ, slumped over the center console. Now, if this was in any other affidavit or report, I don't remember reading it. I remember Stefan describing Madeline sleeping in the car, and he even kind of imitated it in he's like this, imitating it in his videoed interview where they, searched his body and all that fun stuff. But this is the first time in this affidavit that I remember where Madeline was slumped over the center console. Although each picture was a different time, Madeline was in the same unnatural position and hadn't moved from being slumped over the center console. Some of these pictures were after Stefan advised detectives he dropped Madeline off at school in the Lincoln MKZ. Guys, I feel like Uncle Gavin needs to come out here. Of course, with the caveat that I am glad that stupid criminals will talk to the police. But listen, when the police are asking you questions, they know the answers already. And you should never talk to the police without a lawyer. That's why I don't blame Jennifer Soto for having a lawyer. I don't blame anybody for having a lawyer present when they talk to the police, because I would hope that you, being a smart, intelligent, non-criminal, would have a lawyer. Having said that, I'm also grateful for stupid people like Stefan Stearns, who talked, and they were able to catch him in lie after lie after lie after lie. Okay, during the investigation, surveillance video was obtained from 9295 South John Young Parkway. The video showed on February 26th at 9:41 a.m. Stefan removing Madeline from the front seat of the Lincoln MKZ and placing her in the trunk of the vehicle. Madeline's body appeared lifeless due to her arms moving in an uncontrolled manner. Remember, this was like in the garage of a Holiday Inn or something like that, right? Was it a Hilton Express or something? I don't remember. But anyway, a cadaver dog alerted to both the MKZ and Jennifer's Nissan sedan. Throughout the course of the investigation, the victim was discovered deceased in a rural area of St. Cloud in Osceola County. At the time, Stefan Stearns was the last person observed on video with the victim. A witness reported and positively identified Stearns in close proximity of where the victim's body was discarded. This was one that we listened to here on the channel. I'm trying to remember who that was. You guys might be yelling at your screens right now, telling me exactly who that was, but I am blanking on the name, but I'm going to look it up here real quick. Trying to think, was that, I think that was Thomas Karras who did that, who talked about that. Anyway, okay. He was seen. All right. He was seen with a flat tire. They even locked eyes, he said. Okay. During the course of the investigation, I don't know if that's Jennifer or Stefan. I don't know. Has been interviewed by detectives and the media. Jennifer or Stefan has made numerous contradictory statements to detectives and media outlets so it's she. So Jennifer has been interviewed by detectives and the media. Jennifer has made numerous contradictory statements to detectives and media outlets. During initial interviews with patrol officers and detectives, she stated that Stefan took Madeline to school. During other statements, she said, "We took Madeline to school." Jennifer's whereabouts are also inconsistent. She stated initially that she did not take Madeline to school because of a new job. Hey, he wrote this affidavit, again, is written in April. Remember her interview in that nice little family room looking interview room was done on the 1st of March, the same day that Madeline's body was discovered, right? So in April, they are still very suspicious of Jennifer Soto. Okay. She stated initially that she did not take Madeline to school because of a new job, and then later stated she had a doctor's appointment. Jennifer told detectives that she communicated with Stefan via cell phone after Madeline went missing. Jennifer stated she would communicate with Stefan using Google Meet. Text messages in Jennifer's cellular phone reveal she would ask Stefan to use a Google application to communicate instead of normal text messages. So let me pause here. I'm going to mark where I am here. Okay. Instead of regular text messages. I don't know how many of you, and I'm not watching your comments right now. I'm sorry. Maybe this is a good time to take a break and we'll go over to comments after I say this. Okay. Because what are we? We're about halfway through. Okay. Now's a good time to take a break, but, I don't know how many of you have had any kind of legal interactions, like interactions with lawyers, I guess is what I'm saying. Whether you've hired a lawyer to defend you, or maybe you have filed a lawsuit and you have a lawyer, right? Actually, no, this is a bad example because communications with your lawyer are privileged. But say, for example, you are a third party that might communicate with an attorney about a case that you are not a client of. Frequently, your attorney will ask not to text and not to email because there is no client attorney privilege. And so they will ask for telephone conversations only. Is that what Jennifer is doing here? Is Jennifer going, no, don't text me. Let's just do Google Meet. Let's talk. And that is pretty suspicious. Now, having said that, let's bring Maddie up here and let's go through some of your comments real quick to see what you guys are saying. I'm gonna first off, because I don't want to miss anything. We got a couple awesome things happening here. First, we've got some new members: Margot Gogo, Debbie, Ms. Holmes 66, Linda Morrison. We got Carol Johnson Super Chat. Thank you so much. We've got Built to Help Art. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then we've got another new member. So thank you, all of you, for that. All right. Let me go back here. I think that may have cleared out my my GF little things. Nails and Braids by Cam Gavin. This is my first time to your videos, and I'm actually really looking forward to see all your future ones. Well, great. I'm happy about that. That's awesome. I think Jen is just as nauseating as guilty as Stefan. Tabitha Tyndall says, Gavin, I watched the Hidden True Crime Parents interview. It started out good, but turned into a dumpster fire. It seemed like at the end they were coming up with all of the excuses as to why he did it. It was wild. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but Autumn and Jamie and my sister all were talking about it last night. I haven't been able to do it because of my schedule today, but I will be watching it soon. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm so glad that Hidden True Crime did that. It's a great channel, by the way, guys. Let's go. Baby girl, Kiwi 33. Do we have somebody from New Zealand with us here? Perhaps a baby girl. Gavin, I believe that Jenn Soto knew what was happening in her house. She never loved her daughter and never mentioned her daughter's name. She's just as guilty as Stefan Stearns. I feel the same way. Built to Help Art wants that ascot, guys. When I reach 100K, I am going to live stream in my fancy birthday ascot. In fact, I got 2 ascots for my birthday. One from Kimberly and the little ones, and one from our daughter Josie. So I can choose, and I think maybe I will wear the purple one to match my purple Victorian home. Gavin, did you hear that the teacher from Maddie's school was charged with CSAM? I did. Crazy. Let's see. Keep going here. Yes, Mooney knows it. Mooney knows. Mooney's the OG, guys. Mooney's the best. Let's Zoom 100K party. Oh, or maybe we could do Discord or something. That would be fun. All right. Keep going down here. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Chalupa says 100. I 100% believe they were both involved in the abuse and selling of CSAM. A lot of people believe that, and I mean, I guess I don't disagree. I think you're probably right. Gavin, do you still believe she is innocent, or your eyes fool you? No, I don't think Jenn is innocent. I had waffled on that quite a bit, but I'm at a place now where I'm like, nah, she was probably part of this. Kathleen says he makes me sick. Yes, indeed. Dawn says, hello from England. Sorry, a bit late. It's 1 a.m. Falling asleep. Didn't want to miss your live. Well, Dawn, hopefully this is not going to impact your day. There's no shame in being in the rewatch crew. I love all you guys who joined me live, and all of you who joined me in the rewatch crew. All is well. You don't need to stay up late unless that's your deal. Okay. Susie Hall says, Gavin, Jenn knew all about the essay, and hopefully they will find evidence on her phone. Yeah, I hope so too. It just skipped down. Where'd it go? Let's see. Ooh, Nikki Collins is new. Welcome, Nikki. Glad you're here. Tracy asks, Gavin, why did the dogs hit on both cars? I don't know, unless Stefan put something in. Well, first of all, Stefan hadn't changed clothes. I remember that. And so if he was holding Madeline and he drove Jenn's car later that day, that would be the reason, I think, that the dogs hit there. But I don't know specifically. Gavin, do you know if Maddie's phone was downloaded and if essay photos were on the phone? I don't yet, Virginia. But maybe we will find out in more of these documents that have come out. And then, yes, Jenn said they use Google Meet to video chat. That's exactly right. And do the video talkie, not the texty, so that they could hide what it is that they were talking about. That is suspicious. Very, very suspicious. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and go back to the document and we will keep on reading. We'll come back to your comments here in just a little bit. Where am I going? I need to be able to see this document too. There we go. And I need a drink of water here. Give me a second, guys. Delicious, delicious reverse osmosis water. All right. A search warrant was lawfully, okay, so they used Google Meet, blah, blah, blah. A search warrant was lawfully obtained to search the contents of, I think, Jennifer's cellular phone. However, some items that would have been backed up on Jennifer's iCloud account may not have appeared on her cell phone. That's why they're saying we would like to get to the iCloud account. Jennifer also had control over Madeline's iCloud account, which gave her the ability to approve or deny any applications she applied for. Due to the material inconsistencies provided by, I think that says Jennifer Soto, about the disappearance of Madeline Soto, there is likely evidence of communications between Stefan Stearns and Jennifer Soto regarding the disappearance of Madeline Soto within Jennifer's iCloud account. Also, data potentially contained in, I think that is Jennifer's and Madeline's iCloud accounts, may show if devices belonging to Jennifer or Madeline were within Jennifer Soto's Nissan on February 26, 2024. I think they're trying to show maybe Jennifer was in the car. Therefore, there's probable cause to believe that there's evidence regarding the capital SBs, the SBs, capital SBs, regular SBs by person in custodial family authority, possession of CSAM, and homicide committed against Madeline Soto contained in the following accounts. Then it redacts them, including but not limited to communications, photographs, videos, location data, call logs, third-party applications used to communicate. And then it is the request of this applicant to be granted a search warrant to access the Apple accounts, blah, 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 blah. It is signed the 17th day of April by Detective Mark Morris. Detective Matthew Pinnell put him under oath. An affidavit is a legal document that you are under oath doing. So, it's punishable by law. All right. And then it is signed. Here is the search warrant by Judge Murphy. We don't need to really go over it, but that is the search warrant. And then there is a return as well. And he has said that they did get digital data from Apple. Mark Morris, the detective, swears that the above digital data contains true and detailed account of all property taken, collected by the Kissimmee Police Department on said warrant. So the court would have a copy of this. When he does his return, he has to actually, come to think of it, I'm not sure if he has to actually give the digital data to the court or just return that digital data was obtained. I think it's the latter now that I think about it. So that is the search warrant. All right. So let us go back then. Let's bring Maddie up on the screen. Happy little Maddie you know what? I was about to say in a happier time, but no, guys, she had been abused repeatedly and prolongedly by at least Stephen Stearns, at least. And it's possible by Jennifer Soto as well. And it's possible that other people participated as well, if you believe, which is, I don't know. I don't really like to believe Stephen Stearns, but he said that he wasn't the one that started it. And I don't know if that means Jennifer started it or Madeline started it or some other person started it. I don't know, but this is not a happier time. This is a moment in young, sweet Madeline's life where she was finding some happiness, some distraction from 5 years of repeated abuse until her life was taken. So yeah, I can't say it was a happier time. It was a happier moment. So let's bring that up. Let's bring back your comments and let me come on over to them. Let's see. Sherilyn says, I've played devil's advocate in my own mind, and it still comes out that she is guilty of more than neglect and bad parenting. Dawn says, Gavin, after watching the Hidden True Crime interview, listen to the podcast from Hidden True Crime talking about the interview. I will do that. Thank you very much. Texas Patty, Gavin, as disgusting as it sounds, Stephen Stearns didn't start it. Jennifer let him in her bed, but failed to remove Maddie first. This creature wasn't going to miss out on that opportunity. They are both evil. Don Louise, Gavin, how about an updated popcorn making video wearing your ascot? Maybe that's what I should do. Guys, if you go back to the earliest videos that I have kept public on my website or on my channel, I teach my nieces and nephews. I am Uncle Gavin in that video. I'm teaching my nieces and nephews how to make actual movie theater popcorn because Kimberly makes fun of me for this. Every time we would go to the movies, it would be an expensive date, not because of her, but because of me, because I require movie theater popcorn when I'm watching a movie. And I don't even like to go to the theater. I'd much rather watch a movie at home. It's more comfortable. You can pause to take a break, all that sort of stuff. So I had to learn how to make movie theater popcorn, and I did. If you want to learn how to make movie theater popcorn, you can go back and watch that video. So, Dawn, should I do a video of me making popcorn in my Whirly Pop with my ascot? I don't know, maybe. Gavin, do you think Stephen Stearns went back and held Maddie the reason why the dog hit on Jen's car? Held Maddie. Well, he had definitely held her. Like he had picked her up and he had put her in his trunk, and then he had picked her up again and thrown her in that field next to the bamboo. So I don't think that he held her like, I'm feeling so guilty. I love you. I'm so sorry what I did to you. I don't think he did that, but he did hold her because he had to move her. And yeah, that is probably the reason that it hit on both cars. Let's see. Could the dogs hit on both cars if they moved her, then got in their cars? Did Jenn's car move in the AM too? I don't think her car did move in the AM. At least I've never seen it on a report or an affidavit or anything like that. So I don't know. I think the reason that it hit on Jenn's car is Stefan was in contact with Maddie, who was a cadaver at the time. He moved her in his car. He had to pick her up to put her in his trunk. He had to pick her up to put her in the field. He then did not change clothes and got into Jenn's car. Now, this doesn't excoriate Jenn. I hope I'm using that word correctly. It doesn't rule out Jenn as being part of this to me. That's just what I think the reason the dogs hit that way. Gavin, do you think Jennifer Soto will be able to play dumb enough to avoid prosecution? No, I think she's going to be prosecuted, guys. Prosecutors are in the business of prosecution, and they love it. Business is good for them. They enjoy their jobs, and she is. I think that there's enough evidence to charge her, so I think that they will, even in light of that derivative use immunity deal that she got. Michelle Legrand says Jenn was jealous of Maddie. That is possible. Thought Gavin didn't have a Discord. I don't really have a public Discord, but we do have a Discord server that we use with my mods, and we have used it for a call-in show in the past, and maybe we can do a call-in show that way. It'd be fun. Hey all, I've been listening to Gavin but watching the World Series. Oh, don't give me any spoilers. My dad has been a Dodgers fan since the 50s, since he realized that baseball is the best game in the history of the world. So he loves the Dodgers. I know they're up 3-0. I know they're playing tonight. Don't tell me who's winning. Don Luis says, Gavin, I think his saying didn't start it. He says each time to his parents, it's for their benefit. Yeah, you're probably right. Wow, that just skipped down, but we got Lauren. Thank you very much for that super chat, Lauren. Let me go back up to where I was. Where was I? Dang it. Give me a second here, guys. I don't want to skip over all the awesome stuff you guys have said here. Okay, here we are. Calgal says, Gavin, I'm happy to just be one of your subs. Well, I'm happy you're here too. And I will get back to that super chat. I won't skip it. I didn't mean to like diminish that. Thank you so much for that. I just kind of experienced a weirdness here. All right. Gavin, have you heard that JS isn't in an institution? Yeah, in a phone call that we went over yesterday that happened back in May, they said that she was in an institution, that her lawyer suggested it, and I don't know if she still is. Don't know. Oh my goodness, just subscribed. Thank you very much. Let freedom ring. Pink Vivi, Gavin, I'm really into this case because it reminds me of growing up in an abusive home. Wow, I'm very sorry to hear that. But I can understand why you are invested in the case. Caroline found us yesterday from Dundee, Scotland. Have you heard me tell my story about Scotland, Caroline? Listen, I've spent a fair amount of time in the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, okay? I've spent a lot of time there. I one time was in Bristol at a show, and Bristol is close to Wales, as you know. And so there was a lot of Welsh being spoken. And my distributor at the time, the guy that was kind of putting on the dog and pony for everybody. I was just supporting him. Was a Welsh guy. So really nice guy, Tom. Tom, if you ever watch my channel, I love you, man. It's been a long time. Anyway, this guy comes up to ask me a question about the device that I was representing there, and he speaks to me, and I don't understand a single word he's saying. So I just assume he's speaking to me in Welsh. And as soon as he's done asking his question, I look over at Tom before the translation, as I had done multiple times throughout the day. And Tom says back to me, "What are you looking at me for?" He's speaking English. He's a Scottish guy. I couldn't understand a word he was saying. We all had a good laugh, and he helped me understand. It's so funny. Well, Caroline, I'm glad you found me, and many happy regards to you in Scotland. Okay, let's Gavin, are we going to expect a special British cap to follow? Oh, with my ascot? Oh, I've got some amazing panel hats. In fact, came very close to buying one when I was in London last month, but I didn't. Gavin, Jenn admitted in an interrogation she didn't want a Woody Allen situation, also known as she knew what was happening and was scared of him running off with Stearns. Okay. Yeah, possible. Let's keep going. GF, I thought he showered and changed when he got back. The shirt colors were cited as different. Oh, you might be right. Because he was like in a black shirt, then he was in a red shirt, but he hadn't showered when he got to the police station or something. So I might be wrong on all that. But I mean, maybe it's possible that the scent of the cadaver dog didn't, or of the cadaver of I shouldn't say that, of little Maddie's body didn't leave his body. Maybe I'm completely wrong on this, guys. Maybe Maddie was in Jenn's car at one point. I don't know. Yeah, let's bring up another Maddie. There we go. Thank you for correcting me there. Let's see. One theory about the dogs hitting in both cars is that Stefan Stearns did something like move the body when he took her car on a late night drive. That's a possibility too. Like he went out there, maybe she was in a different place and he wanted to hide her in the bamboo a little bit more so she couldn't be found. Maybe that's it. Maybe he grabbed her, put her in the trunk of Jenn's car, drove her another couple miles down the road and put her somewhere else. That's possible. Gavin, what is CSAM? Hey, Michelle, because of the way that YouTube does things, I can't really say what that is, but it is, it has to do with the abuse of children and the recording of it via photography and video and so forth. But you can look up CSAM and you will find it. Let's see. I'm going to skip down just a little bit more here. I'm going to do my very best not to miss any of the important stuff. PJ, thank you very much for gifting a membership. That was most grateful. Gavin, I know this will go against what most people think, but I don't believe Jenn Soto knew. I think she was simply indifferent to her daughter's well-being. If it wasn't about what she needed, it didn't matter. There are people that believe that, and I waffled back and forth all over the place. So you're not alone in believing that, and it took me a while, but I've come to the side where I think she knew. And it's okay that we have differing opinions. All right, let's see. Keep going. Mooney, you are so awesome. Thank you very much for gifting those that membership. I appreciate it, man. Couldn't believe that Stefan Stearns was asking his parents for a social security card and his watch for when he gets out. Yeah, that's pretty funny. He's a little delusional. Lesser known name. Thank you very much for that super chat. Jenn said she didn't want a Woody Allen situation with Stearns and Maddie. Please look into this. Yeah, I mean, I have. I did watch that video. I did listen to it. I heard her say that, and I think that she was very evasive. I thought that she did not tell everything that she knew to the detectives. I think that they were correct in kind of pinning her down with, or pointing out to her that she was more concerned about Stefan than she was her own daughter. I think that is true. And yeah, maybe she was jealous of Maddie. Maybe she was. Thank you for that comment and that super chat. I deeply appreciate it. I'm gonna keep on going. Gavin, did you hear the Kissimmee chief of police resigned? No, I did not hear that. Thank you for letting me know. What do you think of JS's comment, Maddie can't sleep with me, I can't risk it? I remember her saying that. At the time, I remember thinking it was like, I want to get a good night's sleep, but I don't think so. Man, I don't know, Janet. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Blue Sapphire says, Gavin, I will never get past Jenn advising Stefan's parents to get an attorney after she was told it was Stefan. I know. It's crazy. April says, Gavin, several who were involved in this investigation were encouraged to resign. It feels to me, though, that they've done a good investigation. Like, I don't feel like they've done a bad investigation at all. Yeah. Let's see. American Nana. Yes, on the popcorn. That's funny. Come on. There you go. Carlene, Gavin, is Jennifer really hospitalized somewhere? Has anybody really tried to find her? I don't know if she really is or not. I know that Stefan and his parents talked about her having been institutionalized. Let's see. Yes, April. Gavin, it looks like Maddie wanted the mommy and daddy coins. Ooh, should I bring this up? I wasn't sure if it was Maddie who wanted them. Give me just a second here, guys. Let me show you these. Let's see. This is a printout of an Amazon, like it's browser history or something like that. Fun new parents decision coin, double-sided mom dad turn coin. Daddy's turn, mommy's turn, which is just creepy as all get out, right? But I don't know if it was Madeline who wanted them or if it was like Jenn that wanted them or Stefan that wanted them. I don't know, but it is creepy as all get out. It's not creepy. Like the coins themselves are not creepy, just in the context of this case. Oh my goodness, is it creepy or what? Grosses me out, man. Okay. Let's see. Paula Jones, Gavin, the way I know Jenn is guilty, I don't know of any mother that would let their child sleep between two adults. Yeah, it's weird. The whole thing. I thought I waffled back and forth in the beginning, but no, I can't get past that either. That's like, and I know that I bring up other cases a lot, and I bring up Ellen's case quite a lot because it's something that really matters to me. But that's like in the Ellen Greenberg case. Anytime somebody asks me a question about do I doubt, in any particular point of the case, or do you think that Ellen may have wanted to take her own life, or do you think it was possible? I always go back to 20 stab wounds, 10 of which were to the back of her head and neck. No, I can't get past that, right? And that's how I feel, and I think Paula feels about Jenn. Like, why would you have your teenage daughter sleeping in the same bed as you and your boyfriend? It is wrong. Normal people do not do that. Let's see. Caressa Sickles, Gavin, Stefan thought he was stepping in and saving the day when he made the decision to help get rid of her body because he knew he was going to be found out. I'm telling you, she killed that precious girl. Out of like jealousy or envy? You think that's what that is, Caressa? Interesting. Jennifer told law enforcement Stefan had access to benzos and Lunesta. I truly think Stefan gave her drugs so Jenn would give him full access of her child. Yeah, possible. Let's see. Lauren, thank you very much. We're finally back to your super chat. Thank you very much. £4.99. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm feeling the same way. I know that there's a different, younger way of doing. I can't do it. I don't know. But yes, feel the same way. Thank you. Man, and now it just jumped down again. Where'd it go? Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I have to go back to where it jumped to. Huh. Looking for Laura. Goodness sakes, you guys are so awesome. I'm going to get to a lot of this. There we are. All right. So we're back to Lauren. Good. Okay. Blue Sapphire. If Stearns was dumb enough to leave thousands of photos on his phone, Jenn is dumb enough to leave text evidence. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that for sure. Man, we're coming up on an hour here, guys. So PJ Tyler, there you are again. Let me just, I know you guys are saying tons of like really cool stuff. There's Mooney again. So cool of you guys. Ava's mom gifting a membership. Thank you so much for doing that. Leanne Wilson giving me £1. I appreciate it, Leanne. Thank you very much. I'm so worried that I'm going to miss somebody here. Another membership from PJ Tyler. You are amazing. Let me just, because I think we're getting to the end here. I want to make sure that I don't miss everyone. Yep, we got everybody. I think, guys, if I missed something that you did that was like super generous and awesome, I am so sorry. I'm doing my best to get to know this this new system. And I have to sign off because I have to write up the article from my day job. So I'm going to be up for the next couple hours. But I thank you so much for joining me today. Remember that you can always go to my website, gavinfish.com, and you can see Maddie's case page. You can get in contact with me there. Remember that my mods, Autumn and Jamie, they do this whole thing voluntarily. So if you go to my support page, click buy mods a coffee, that goes directly to them. And I appreciate you guys for doing that. If you click on this little fishy here, you can go to the Fish Tank on Facebook, which we're like 2,400 members of our little group. We talk about all things true crime, but especially the cases that we're covering here on the channel. It's a fun time, and Jamie is, like I said before, she is ramrodding this little fun activity to get yourself a pin. All right. Tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Oh, where are we? Let's go here. Look at that. Look at us, guys. We're jamming. We are jamming. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to be back at our regular time, about 7:30. We are going to be, what are we doing? We're going to be going over another warrant. This one is a warrant for Stefan Stearns' Fitbit. That's right. He was a big enough idiot to be wearing a Fitbit during this whole thing, apparently. So we're going to be going over that warrant. So please join me tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I will do my very best to be on time and not have to delay. I don't think anything is going on during the day in my day job that will get in the way of me starting on time. With that, guys, thank you again for being here. I will see you tomorrow. I bid you adieu. And until then, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.